Compared to last week, how do you evaluate this week's scrimmage?
Well, it was different. I thought our defense started very slow, so that was alarming. A lot of big runs and open field runs that we shouldn't have. I thought we got it short up the second half of the scrimmage on defense, so that was good. Nick Carraway's a guy that's kind of stood out on defense, is making a lot of plays. But we've got to get better. It wasn't one of our better days, even though we improved as it went on offensively. We actually were able to run the ball quite a bit early. But then, once again, we were not great in the red zone. Got stuffed quite a bit. I think Dylan Dowling had a good day for us. Tyrone Tracy made some plays for us. Elijah Canyon had a couple catches. But, you know, we have a ways to go. We definitely was not good enough to win today.
Are you still? Are there guys still not? Guys out still, like Graham? Is Graham out, and Dean and those guys? Are they back yet?
Well, that's frustrating as well. It's part of football, though, so we've got to get them ready to game. But no, Jalen and Branson Dean, Corey Trice did not practice. Brock Thompson did not practice. So, you know, we've got to get them ready to play. And you know, they practice some, but not a lot, and they've got to get more work. If they think that they're going to be able to just show up in the game and play hard, it's not going to happen. They've got to get in some good quality work. We've got to figure out the right balance to get that done, and we need all of our guys out there on the field.
Are they still on track to play for the first game?
I thought they were on track to start a month ago, so we have a little bit of work to do there. And you know, injuries happen, hamstrings happen, those things, so can't disregard it. You've got to make sure that they're doing everything in their power to get healthy. So same with us, and then we manage it to a certain degree, but they've got to get out there and practice so they can feel confident and ready to play.
Where can Carraway fit in for you, if anywhere this season? Are we talking like starter? Are we talking like reserve? Depth?
No, I think anytime a true freshman starting first game is rough.
Awful hard.
It's a lot to learn. A lot of really good players you're going to go against. But he's shown great signs. He's athletic. We got to find a spot for him. Understanding the whole package isn't just going to naturally happen for him as well. We've got to make sure that we get him up to speed and know what calls we can run when he's in there. But he is someone that has definitely stood out and made plays, and is someone that in the future, hopefully sooner than later, but sometime in the future, will be a very good player for us.
Are you pretty confident in your offensive playmakers at this point? Do you feel like you have those guys who can make big plays, but also be those guys that draw a lot of attention in the red zone, kind of things like that?
I think we're getting better. I wouldn't say we're at where we need to be at. You know, we've been able to make some plays when things are guarded tighter. We've got to figure out ways to make more contested catches. You know, that's what David Bell was tremendous at. Is, you know, even if they had good players, he made the play, he made the catch, and that's what we talked about after the scrimmages. You know, there comes a point where whether you're a receiver, quarterback, a lineman, you've got to tell yourself, I have to win this matchup on this play. Regardless, I have to win it, and I have to find a way to win it. And I don't think we've done that as good as I would like, but that comes with practice. And the same thing on defense. You know, you can't give up big plays. You've got to sprint to the ball. There's got to be more hustle and finish on every single play. And we have to understand that if you're not going 100% on every play, it's not going to be good enough.
Where does the offensive line need to be better in the red zone?
Well, I think our offensive line has made strides. You know, when things get tighter and the coverage gets tighter, you know, we have not moved it as well you know, the last two scrimmages. So we have to go back and figure out ways to get that done. At the same time, once again, when things are tighter, you have to make contested catches, and the holes are smaller, the windows are smaller. There's going to be guys draped on you half the time. There's going to be guys ready to hit you if you're going to run in the middle, and we have to find ways to get open and be accurate and make plays. So, you know, just a lot to learn from this, and there's a lot of improvement we need to make.
Are you comfortable with your two tight end packages right now without Garrett?
No, I'm not. So, you know, we're working hard to improve the guys behind Payne. I think they are working hard, but you know, we have to be creative and make sure that you know, we're smart and we're in those packages. We're not asking them to do something that they're not able to do yet.
Jeff, who are a couple of guys who really made big jumps here in training camp?
Well, kind of who I said, I think Dylan Dowling has definitely made really good strides. We feel very confident in him stepping in and playing. I think that The receiving core is continuing to improve, but finding legitimate playmakers, you just got to keep working through it. Charlie Jones has stood out numerous times. Other receivers had up and down days. So because of that, there's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of guys playing. But I'd love for some playmakers to emerge at that position. Payne Durham has been solid. We've had to protect him since the injury a couple weeks ago with Garrett. So that's on offense. Did you ask defense or just offense?
Either one.
You know what, defense, Reese Taylor's definitely stood out. We can count on him. He's played very well. Cam Allen has probably done a pretty good job. Chris Jefferson, I think, he knows what to do. Has played well. When Corey and Jamari are out there and they're ready to go, they can be very good. Up front, we have a lot of guys that have played hard. Has one really stood out over the others? Probably not, but that's not a bad thing. I do think that we can be productive there. It's just not at the level that George Karlaftis would.
You already mentioned Caraway, but any other freshmen who put themselves in a position here to play next weekend? No. What has Reese Taylor done well? I just mentioned him.
Tell you what, he's instinctive. You can tell that he's played a lot of football. Being a high school quarterback, he understands route concepts and quarterback's eyes and shoulders, and he's just aggressive in his approach, and we've allowed him to do that, and it's made him lock things down very well. And we've had a hard time completing balls against him, and it's a credit to him. So he's come in ready to play. He's got a lot to prove. Got to keep him healthy, and he's really done a good job.
Has Jack shown you what he needed to show you in this camp?
Jack Ansel?
Yeah.
You know what? We have made strides there, and he's worked very hard. And it's just going to come down to when the reps are on the line, you've got to produce. So I feel confident that he can do that, but he has to feel confident, and he has to understand that that's just how football works. And we do have competition at the position. He understands that as well, and that's at every position. But Jack has been more consistent, and we want him to just continue to improve. And he's got to be able to relax and believe himself and face the field and not second guess it and just punt that thing like he knows he can.
Are you into Penn State prep yet, or is it still Purdue working on Purdue for the most part?
We've been doing segments of Penn State throughout camp quite a bit. Almost every day, not every single day, but almost. And now that the scrimmage is over, it'll be on to Penn State.
When you look at the top of the depth chart, are there any position battles that remain unsettled?
Any position or?
Yeah, it just.
Well, like I said, receivers. It could be quite a few. TJ Sheffield's been out a little bit. When he's healthy, he's played for us, so we feel confident he'll give us a great effort, do well. Charlie Jones has come in and done some really good things. Deion Burks has stepped in at times and done some good things in multiple positions. Tyrone Tracy has been a reliable guy, and then there's a slew of others that are right there in the thick of it. You just got to get consistency and get a few guys that are just going to make plays when we call the number. But so we have depth there. It's just I just think we're very competitive. I do feel like the offensive line, to this degree, has done some good things, but we're going to go against a really good front that has experience and that is athletic and that dominated us 3 years ago. So we'll see how we measure up.
What kind of camp has Aiden have with all his experience now, and the fact that obviously the job is his now? Do you see a little bit more command from him? Do you see a guy who's playing like a 6-year guy?
He's had a really good camp. He's been dialed in, locked in. He's provided great leadership. He understands how important he is to this team. It's a credit to him. You know what? In the last spring game, it was not one of his better days. He understands that as well. And because of that, he's had some solid days. Today was another solid day. We got to keep him healthy. We got to make sure that we're get him in a rhythm. We got to do things he's comfortable with. But he's a valuable piece that has done a really, really good job.
Any new injuries today?
No, Cam Craig wasn't able to finish. He's got a chronic back that has been good through camp. So we've got to, he's done well this camp. We got to get that calm back down and get him back out there.